What's up everybody, and thank you for joining me for another video. My name is Whack4863, but you can call me Whack. This is the start of a series where I look at the attributes and the perks in those attributes to see what's actually going on with your character when you put points in different areas. So the first one that I started with was strength. It makes sense, it's at the top of the list. However, what I'm gonna say before I even get into the details about what's going on with strength is that I have already communicated my findings to Funcom. They've logged the issues and they are planning to fix it in a future patch. So we can expect what I go over in this video to be fixed at some point in time. So if I asked you how strong your character actually is, it wouldn't even be fair because you don't know everything that's going on. The answer simply is you're not as strong as you should be, and the reason being is because a lot of these perks are not working. So let me first explain the testing and how I came to these results. So I used every different type of weapon in Iron Tier, and I used that against the XX Do Nothing health boost so that I could see the increase in damage when I hit that enemy. Not only did I do that with each weapon, I did that with each perk that I acquired as I went through the list of perks under the strength attribute. When I got to the 5th perk, I lowered my hit points to 1 through the admin panel in order to activate that 5th perk, and then I recorded those results. Now I was blown away by these results, and I think you will be too. For this test that you're watching, I'm using the two-handed hammer, and with 0 points in strength, the light attack does 24 damage, and the heavy attack does 35. Now if I look at the wiki real quick, it says I should be gaining 2% additional damage per point that I put into strength. Each perk has 10 points, and those points cost a varying amount of attribute points to purchase them. Now throughout the perks there are some oddities with rounding where you don't get the full 20%, but if you purchase all 5 of the perks, you do essentially double your damage, meaning you get 100% more damage, which would be 5 times 20%, so the math all works out in the long run. Now let's look at the first perk, Thuggery. Every blow you strike with a blunted weapon deals 100% more concussive damage. This is actually working in game, and you should be using this if you're going to knock something out, because it does make a big difference between knocking them out or killing them. If we look at the second perk, Salt the Wound, you now deal 15% increased damage to enemies affected by negative status effects. Cripple, bleed, sunder, those things. This is actually not working, so what I did was I took a set of daggers, I stacked some bleed onto an enemy, and I hit them, and then I let that bleed wear off, and I hit them, and it was doing the exact same amount of damage, which you can see here. There I'm doing 33 with the light strike, and if I do a heavy, I'm doing 49. I then allowed both the bleed and the sunder to wear off before hitting them again, and if I give him a light attack there, it's 33, and if I give him a heavy attack there, it's again 49. So that's essentially the first perk that's not working properly. Moving on to the third perk, which is Slice and Dice. Each light attack you do inflicts 10% more damage. The way that I tested this was I actually went to the point right before I unlocked that, so I put 29 points into my attributes, and then I hit the target. Now for the two-handed hammer, the damage actually went up by 1 point, which is not 10%. It should be going up by at least 3 points just by unlocking that perk. And I should note that the increase in damage did not happen on all the weapons when unlocking that perk. That increase of damage for the hammer just happened to be that I rounded to a point where I got more damage with that hammer. Most of the weapons that I tested actually didn't increase in damage when unlocking that perk. Moving on again to the 4th perk, which is Brutal Strikes. Each heavy attack now inflicts 15% more damage. And what do you think, guys? Is this one working? If you guessed no, you're absolutely right. So I did the exact same test for this one. I put 39 points into my build and I hit the target. I then put the next point in unlocking that perk and I hit the target again, and the damage numbers for my heavy strikes were exactly the same. Wrapping it all up with the 5th perk in strength, Blood Mad Berserker. Whenever your hit points fall below 25%, you deal 50% more damage. Now for this test, I lowered my hit points all the way down to 1, you can see there on the screen, and I have that 5th perk, so Blood Mad Berserker should be activated. And what I did essentially was hit the target, then hit the target again, and then I healed myself, and I did the exact same thing. And the damage numbers were the exact same, 47 damage with a light and 70 damage with a heavy attack. So what does this all mean? That means that 4 of the 5 perks in strength are not working as intended, and there's a lot of damage that's being missed. No wonder we don't feel like the hero of our own story and thralls are outpacing us, because we're already missing the damage that we thought we had. Now again, I want to remind you that I have already spoken to Funcom about this issue, and they have told me that they are going to have it fixed in a future patch, so that's all good stuff. I can't wait to see that patch. Let me know in the comments section if you're in the same boat as I am. The whack moments in this video were sponsored by my legendary supporters. If you'd like to become a member, you can click the button below that says join. That'll give you all the details. And if you want to continue the fun, there's 2 videos on the screen. You can pick one of those to watch next. Please don't forget to whack the like button, and if you're new to the channel, I'd encourage you to click that subscribe button, click that bell so you get notified when I upload another video.